check out how good this engine looks. She's come a long ways. I got the new valve covers on there, new shiny chrome ones. I think this mirror silver finish for the powder coated AC bracket, alternator bracket, I think it looks pretty nice. If I do it all again, I'd probably do more parts powder coated. Not gonna be able to see too much of this stuff anyway, because it's all gonna get buried in the engine bay, but my favorite part probably has to be the turbo compressor housing cover. She is a beaut. Can't wait for that to spin again and be running, but look at this old turd. Someday, I'm gonna have to tear this apart and see what actually busted in it, because there were tons of metal shavings in the oil. Yeah, you guys know. I already told you that. Either gonna sell the long block as it is now, or rebuild it someday if I ever overboost this thing, and it should be fun. I just want to get this truck on the road. We're getting much closer there. So, gotta get this engine in for Sean Krupa. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Hey.
Oh, we got the Bronco. Ooh. She's purring. Ben put a new radiator in his Bronco today.
I did.
He's been making some motor moves. Got Jameson outside with us. Beautiful fall day. Exciting times. We are ready to put the new 4.3 board V6. It's ready to be taken off the stand. We're gonna use the hoist. I gotta get the flywheel torqued on with my new ARP flywheel bolts. And we're gonna make this engine bay full again. Today's the day. It's one step closer to getting the truck onto the trailer for the Holley HP ECU install. It's gonna have the 3.5-inch LCD touch display. It's gonna have tunes for E85, pump gas 93. It's gonna have a GM flex fuel sensor. So I'm gonna get the engine off the stand. I'm gonna get it hooked up to the hoist. And we're gonna torque some flywheel bolts to spec. I still gotta look that up in my wonderful Syclone manual. By the way, guys, for all you Syclone Typhoon owners out there, I'm doing my best to learn as much about the truck as I possibly can at all times. The history is just so rich, so cool, and these trucks are tough to work on, and they're really finicky, and you gotta be careful, and you gotta dot your I's and cross your T's to everything that you touch, especially drivetrain wise on the truck. When you're running a lot more power like this, in this scenario, you wanna make sure you're following everything to a T. And so why I bring that up is that if you have a Syclone or Typhoon, this is a wealth of knowledge right here. This is a service manual supplement I got. Pretty neat. I'm gonna rip this engine off the stand. Wish us luck. Engine bay is pretty clear. The toughest part is going to be these new stock stainless steel transmission lines, but I left the crossover exhaust pipe off so that we can try and finagle it through. I know there's lots of tips and tricks out there, but we're giving it our own shot today. So, and I got some great help from my sidekicks here, Billy and Benjamin. Making motor moves. Here we go. We're struggling, but we're getting there. Ben, tell the people what's going on.
Hello. We have these dowel pins that have to line up from the engine to the transmission. And currently that dowel pin is resting on the face of the transmission and causing interference. All right, then we have the engine mount over there, right behind those transmission lines. Hang on. We have the engine mount right there, right behind those transmission lines. It's gotta come up and over the lip to get into place at the same time as the dowel. Switching back. It's the same time the dowel slides into place the transmission. To get that dowel to slide in, back,
just need a little touch.
Left corner has to be pushed down so that dowel will slide into place. Then once it's into place, we can lift the front of the engine up and over its engine mount.
swap Gnostics. He's doing it again.
Okay, yeah, that's great. You're literally right in the hole.
Okay, now what? You want to go up?
Just go up and I'll tell you if it's good or bad. Oh, that's great. Yep, do that again. Do that again. Okay, stay right there.
Ready?
Go ahead. Yep, a little more. Okay. All right, stay right where you are. That's a good spot to be in.
Okay.
Because it can slip right over. Oh, I'm no longer supporting the transmission.
Okay. So now it's the hoist. Phil, you will be coming down shortly. Well, you gotta push some pressure up. Oh. There it goes.
Okay, now it's in.
It's in.
It is in. It's in!
Starting.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, baby!
We got the engine in.
Let's go!
It's on the dowel pins of the tranny, and it's over the solid engine motor mounts. Now we have to finagle and start threading some bolts, so wish us luck. The biggest part's over with, and now I got a whole lot of parts to put back on, but yeah, pretty excited. Pretty happy, thank you boys.
Welcome.
My trusty steeds. As you can see, I've got my table full of parts that need to go back on, slowly but surely. Now we're at a good point where transmission bolts are tightened up, engine mount bolts are tightened up, and I think I'm going to do the distributor next while I have the wires free in the back of the engine. And I've got room, so I took my tape off my distributor hole. What I'm gonna do is get the engine top dead center. That way I know that cylinder number 1 is at TDC, so we can put our distributor in. Got my Typhoon shirt today. So I was reading up in my Syclone service manual, doing a little reading this morning, making sure I'm ready to go for my MSD distributor. So let's get some tools and get after it, turn the engine, get over to top dead center. The engine's at TDC. This is the tool I like to use to make sure that the oil pump gear is in the correct position. Basically, I just have 2 3/8 extensions with a flathead tip. On the flathead tip and the orientation it's at, I put Sharpie marks on top of my 3/8 extension to tell where the screwdriver tip is. And I fished inside there, and it was already actually lined up pretty well. I wanted to make sure that the oil pump gear is lined up with cylinder number 1. It's the way I was taught. It's the way we're gonna install it today. So now I'm ready to try and drop the distributor in, make sure it's pointing in the right direction for initial timing set. What I'm trying to do is get the oil pump gear to line up with that flat spot on the bottom of the distributor here. So gotta get it lined up a little bit better here. All right, guys. I realigned the oil pump gear, so hopefully we can get this lined up. That looks pretty good. Brass tip here, pointed right at cylinder number 1. And initial timing will still need to be adjusted. These are the injectors that I got per recommendation from Sean for my new Holley HP standalone ECU kit. These injectors match up really well with the power I'm shooting for. And these are the Holley 1000cc injectors. They're beautiful, they're expensive, they're pretty nice. I'm gonna unpackage these and install them into the injector ports. Let's get after it. Well, as you can see, it's a lot of fine-tuning, finagling, and resorting wires and getting things back hooked up in the correct spot they were before. It's not the most exciting work. It is time-intensive, and it's important to get everything back to where it was. You know, this is what happens when you swap an engine. It's the little parts that you gotta put back on when you get the big engine back in that end up taking the most time. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are making motor moves. Got the injector fuel rail installed on top of our new Holley injectors. It was really tricky to do that. Seemed like the rear injector cups on the fuel rail didn't want to seat properly onto the new injectors with their O-rings. So I took the tape off of the lower intake manifold. It's time to put on our new shiny intake manifold that's been powder coated, mirror silver finish. Really excited about that, guys. Check it out. This is from D&R Driveline in Michigan. They made this beautiful heavy-duty front prop shaft. Now this will be able to take the new performance power that I'll be running in this drivetrain setup reliably. It'll be great. Also got a new alternator, just a standard basic stock replacement from Rock Auto. I also got a new radiator from Rock Auto. This one does not have the oil cooler ports on this side, which is perfect. It fits my application. I'm gonna have to get some plugs for these two ports here. This is where the steel transmission lines would come in to the radiator, but I will be plugging these because I got a... Well, the box is buried back there, so scratch that. I got a new derail transcooler from Motion Raceworks. It's dual coolers stacked into one in a small tight-knit square with 2 electric fans attached as well. I'll be running AN braided lines from the transmission to that cooler. So the list has shrunk, everybody, and that is such a good feeling. I highly recommend making a list whenever you're doing big engine projects or you're working on your own vehicle. Whether it's your fun vehicle or just your daily driver, make a list. It's so satisfying. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. Guys, it's been a long time coming, but the Syclone is officially ready to be loaded onto the car hauling trailer to make it out to Sean Krupa's, where it's going to get a Holley HP kit installed. All the old wiring harness is gonna go out the door. It's gonna get E85 tunes, 93 octane tunes, the whole 9 yards. So we're gonna load it onto the trailer, but a couple updates. The hood is now on, which you guys saw. I got black custom Iowa Syclone plates. The Syclone that's normal, spelled with an E at the end, was already taken because in the great state of Iowa, we have Iowa State Cyclones, the college. When someone got the Syclone plate with the C, then someone came in and got a Syclone custom plate with an S, just so that they could have it. So this was the only option available that I came up with. Should be kind of fun. Also got the fast steering wheel installed, which I really like. It's got really nice finger grips on the back side, if you guys can see that. Got the GMC logo and horn button right there. Behold, my brand new setup. Dude, This is badass. Can I say that? I can say that.
I don't know.
This is sweet. Yeah, I'd really like to restore the whole outside of this truck someday. They could use it. It's got what I call a 10-foot paint job. It looks good from 10 feet away. I think I'm just gonna slowly roll it onto the car hauling trailer down here hooked up to my Duramax. So yeah, I got the whole rig. Enjoy. .30 in the morning. We're on the road, heading out to Chicago, baby. Gonna be dropping off the Syclone in Sean Krupa's garage. Beautiful morning. Sun's just poking out. We'll get there soon. Guys, we made it. Made it to Illinois. Check out Sean's beautiful Typhoon. This is fully modified. It's a beast of a truck. Someday, I hope to make somewhat close power as his, but you guys gotta check out his engine bay. It is gorgeous, absolutely sweet. So anyway, the Syclone is here from Iowa, and Sean's gonna take care of business on this truck. We're gonna do full Holly install. I got a to-do list I wrote for Sean as well that he's gonna go by and kind of chip off the block as he goes and takes his time, and we're gonna be excited to get this back on the road again and get it over to Iowa and maybe get it to Cedar Falls Motorsports Park for the drag strip a couple times next summer. But we made it, everyone. Thank you guys for joining, tuning in, watching the channel. Thank you so much, Sean. Shout out to you and all that you do for the community. This is much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and keep watching the channel for more Syclone content. Take care. That is amazing. Unbelievable. I got a haircut today. I don't like how it looks, but it's so good to see this thing out of the garage, guys. Man, oh man. Yeah, that's going.